welcome or welcome back to my channel, being Louisa. So today's video is sponsored by nursing.co.uk. Nursing.co.uk is an online website where you can see all things nursing, from job vacancies to tips and tricks on their blog posts. They also have a midwifery section which is growing with us. So let's get started. Today's video is going to be all about time management as a student midwife, and also a disclaimer: every hospital is going to be different, every trust is going to be different, so it all kind of like depends on where you are exactly. But I can give you like a generalized idea, because I know certain trusts, like even with my university, there are 5 hospitals that was connected to that university within the Southwest London area. And so within those 5 hospitals, they're all different as well. A couple of you guys who I know who are at uni in different parts of London, you guys have different timings and different scenarios as well. So it's all different. But yeah, so I hope this helps a little bit anyway. Let's get started. So I'm going to kind of split it up into different ones. I'm not sure how it works if you have like the integrated timetable where you have uni for a couple of days during the week and then you have placement for a couple of days during the week. I don't quite know how that works, but with mine, we're in blocks. So with a university block, it's generally, I'm not going to say like normal uni, because I know a lot of uni students who only go to lectures like twice a week and it's a couple of hours. So with us, it's more kind of like keeping with like the basically like school type timetable, where it's like a set time. So our uni times are 9 till 4, sometimes 9 till 3, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Wednesdays it's like either a half day until 12 or it's a free day. So technically it's a guided study and you've got like a topic you're supposed to be doing it, but yeah, it's a free day. So that's kind of like your uni. It's just like a Monday to Friday, you're at uni, you got work to do. On the weekends it's your time off, also your time to do work. Just depends on how you work best, but that's kind of like the uni block, and you'll have that for however many weeks. So usually mine, I think the most I've been at uni has been 3 weeks this year, like starting from like the school year. I mean, like the most was, and that was at the beginning of the school year. So yeah, and again, every university is different, but that's just how my university is. And then in between those uni blocks, you're on placement basically. So if you're not at uni and if you don't have independent study, then you're at placement. Placement is basically like doing the same hours as a registered midwife, because you're following your mentor's hours. If you're lucky enough, you're gonna get great continuity of mentor, and that really helps. And then you can like know their shift pattern and you're following their shift pattern completely. But again, different sites and different places, they have a lack of mentors available, so your shift pattern may be different, it may be strange. And so it all just depends on like how well staffed your trust is and how your CPF, so your clinical placement facilitator, can actually like navigate that. Then when you're on placement, depending on what area you're in and what your hospital's like, usually you do 37.5 hours roughly. So any way you can get that in a week, basically, that's gonna be how you're gonna do it. If you're like doing ward shifts, then they're usually like 12 hours. They're like, some trusts are 12.5, but technically 11.5 because you have an hour lunch break. Or some shifts are 12 hours and then 11 with your hour break. So they're basically long shifts anyway, and you usually do 3 of those a week. Sometimes you could end up doing 4 a week, which is so stressful, but usually you do 3 of those a week. Or if you're doing more clinic work, then that's usually 5 days a week, and that's usually between like 8 and 5-ish, or 8 and 6, depends on where you're at. I know some clinics people don't even come in until like 10, so it just depends on where you're at and who you work with and what they tell you. But that's basically, and you do that about 4 to 5 days a week, depending on again the hours and where you're at, and if you're in community or if you're in the hospital and stuff like that. So yeah, so the way that I'm able to manage my time is the fact that we get our rotors in advance. So we have like a rough year planner at the mid to end of summer. So in August we get our year planner, which is not that helpful. Well, it's not that helpful because like we only get 3 weeks off in summer and we just about get it just before summer. But we basically just use like last year's year planner, so you can see roughly throughout the rest of the year what's happening when, and if you can work out when you have your placement blocks. And then some hospitals, it depends on the trust, some trusts they can give you the rota 2 months in advance, or they'll give you the rota a month in advance. And that's not like the trust itself, that's the person who has to facilitate, so your CPF, who has to facilitate your placement, because obviously the rotas for the actual registered midwives come out ages. Like I think you can do rota requests like 3 to 4 months in advance, but then they obviously are always swapping shifts and changing shifts. So usually you get, as a student, you get your rota a month before you're meant to be in that place, so that you know exactly what days you're working and the times you're working. And like once you get that, that's a really great way to figure out, okay, I can get an extra shift here. Or if you're working, if you have a part-time job, you can have an extra shift here. Or if you have kids, you can be like, okay, that's great, I have these days off to spend with my kids. Or you can request days off so that you can like make sure you can spend time with whoever you want to spend time with, or treat yourself. But yeah, so it's just all about preparation and trying to get that planner and that diary and that timetable in advance, and as much in advance as you can when you're starting. If the faculty can't give you the planner or the timetable, try and ask other students, like in the first year or second year or third year, whoever, if they have like their rotas for that year. Even though it's gonna be different this year, at least you have like a rough start, or okay, I can kind of figure out it's gonna be then, so I can book this for there and I can book that for there. But when you're on placement, as much as like if you're only doing 3 shifts a week, you're like, yeah, I have so much time in the world, I have like 4 extra days. No, one of those days you're probably going to be sleeping, trying to catch up on sleep. and if you're doing night shifts, about 1.5 of those days you're trying to be figuring out how to get back onto regular people time. And sometimes you're going to have like a shift, a day off, a shift, a day off, a shift, a day off. You can't really do much with that, so be mindful of that and don't go out partying like on one of your days off if you have a shift the next day, because that's not very responsible. But yeah, so like just really be mindful of how your shift patterns are. Try and schedule in naps as much as possible, because naps are great. And yeah, so just really truly preparation is key for midwifery time management, and like writing stuff down. I'm not a calendar person, like, or a diary person, but I've gotten myself a paper diary, and I've been writing down like my work shifts, or for my part-time work and my internships, and then also for my placement. And then even when I'm at uni, I write that down so I remember it. I write down when I have cheer practice, even though it's the same 2 days every week. I write down when I have cheer practice and when I have ballet, so that I don't forget, because it's so easy to forget to put it in your phone, or just forget and be like, oh, I had nothing to do, and actually you did have things to do, like I did last week. But yeah, so just make sure you get yourself a diary or a wall calendar so you can see physically what you have to do, because it's great having it on your phone, but sometimes there might be a day where you just forget to pick up your phone, which is rare with us millennials and, you know, the younger generation, but it happens. So make sure you can get a paper diary, like a physical paper diary or a wall calendar, and write out all your shifts, or when you're meant to be in block and when you're supposed to be on placement block. Even if you don't know the exact days you're meant to be on placement, as long as you can say placement block starts here, placement block ends here, so that you know roughly what's what and where's going to be where. But yeah, so I hope this video is helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, keep on being you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below with any questions or suggestions, and don't forget to subscribe to get weekly updates. Bye y'all.